What's up? We're still under the covers. This is part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, go watch part 1. We still got Biggy here and his cheetah robe.
He's still right here.
Oh boy.
A little treat for those who are watching part 2.
What's up, ladies?
He is single.
And you wonder why. When I tell you that I was devastated, the question, and like Peter's guess, I knew that it was a lot. I knew that it was way more than I thought. And I was fighting myself in my own brain. Do I do 200 or do I do 210? I have no idea where that even came from. I have no idea why that popped into my brain. But I went 210. He went 27. And I will say, you can cut this out if you want to, whatever. I contemplated, because I could see Peter's thing. And I did contemplate. I was like, what if I just took a peek? Why not? Let's just take a little peek. But I didn't. I didn't do that.
Solid.
Here you go, 28.
Yeah. And so when he showed his was 27, I showed mine was 210. I was like trying to do the math, and then Jeffrey said 118, and I couldn't do math that quick. But I assumed that I had to be off. I didn't know that it was one motherfucking island. One island. All the Romans had to do was just cut 2 more little canals. Just
kick a rock.
Just kick, 100%. Just 2 more islands, and I could have had the potential at 250. That's the butterfly effect. What could have been,
If only they were thinking about that.
So at this point, you're gone. You're done.
I'm joining the club.
You're gone. Who were you rooting for, Peter or
Peter,
Rick?
for sure. Just after all the shit that had gone on with Rick, all the shit that we had talked about and bonded over all that shit. I wanted Peter to win so fucking bad. I really did. Yeah. I did bad, It is what it is, but I do understand. It's a game. That's part of it. Yeah. It is a game. And, you're going to do whatever it takes to win 250. And I didn't do whatever it takes. I had the blinders on to old Richard, and that's part of it. I lost.
think we all had the blinders on a little bit. Not me for Rick, but I had the blinders on for other people. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because going into the final challenge, I really did think that I had, even though he lied to me about that, about the pine cones, I was like, even in the back of my mind, I was still kind of like, okay, well, maybe he lied to Peter too, because that's always a potential. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so up until he picked Peter over me to send back, I still had hopes for that. But again, it's competition for $250,000.
Yeah, you do.
It's like, you got to do what you got to do.
I think at some point I was having such a good time just competing in competitions and hanging out and socializing that I wasn't thinking about the seriousness of the competition.
Oh, for sure.
And then suddenly we'd be in a challenge and I'd be like, oh, wait, this is really serious? Mm-hmm. But then I'd be like, but wait, these are my friends.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I really did not. I cared about the $250,000. 100% I did. Probably not as much as I should have. I was just having so much fun.
No, me too.
I really, every time they would ask me in an interview, so what would you do with this 250? I was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a competitor. Mm-hmm. If I win or not, I was like, I'm just going to go give her all she's got. I was like, I just want to win.
Had it been for $4.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. Yeah. I would have played the exact same. It was.
I would pay to do this again.
100%.
Yeah. I would pay a lot of money to do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was never about the money for me at all. I was just having the time of my life, and that honestly rarely crossed my mind that it was. And it's kind of a good thing that it probably didn't, because it's like if it does, then you kind of, I don't know, it could kind of alter the way you play your game
But maybe in a
you're
good
putting
way.
too much. Yeah, for sure.
I think about I so seriously considered telling Ty in Amsterdam because that would have gotten you out. But I was just like, no, I'm going to time with Biggy. I don't want him to leave the bus. That was stupid.
It
was a bad gameplay.
You're one of my. I thought you and Rick were the 2 strongest people that I was most worried about. But I was like,
and I appreciate that, by the way, for sure. Because had I gone out in episode 4, I would have.
Yeah.
But
wait, but I gotta know for myself. Had you known that Rick was gonna tell Pete who was gonna tell Janae, would you have still told Shayne Salzburg, knowing it was gonna cause a tie?
No.
You swear?
Really? So
I
you
really-
would have kept it to yourself and not saved Shayne?
See, that's a tough fucking question. God, that's so tough.
It's a topic of debate in Mack and I's household.
And I would
It's one that
wouldn't take it personal.
it's one that in the moment I don't know. I really don't know if I have an answer.
Because I'm team you would have told Shayne, and she's team you wouldn't have.
Like loved you on the bus.
No, yes,
like I really don't know. I don't know. That's such a hard question.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad it wasn't easy at least.
No. It would never have just been like, oh well, they know. Well, fuck it, I'm gonna tell Shayne. Because in the moment, the reason I told Shayne is because I thought Peter and Jenna had no idea.
Sure. Well,
I really
I don't
did.
think they had any idea.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
And so that's why I told them in that moment. Had I gone back and had to do it, that would have been tough, man. I don't know, because see, even while I was waiting on y'all in the map room, I was in the other bus with Rick, and we're like laying there, and I was like, God, they've been taking a while, and Rick was like, I hope it's not a tie. And like when he said that, my heart sank. So like that was like an authentic feeling that I had, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Shayne's my boy. I love Shayne. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, yeah. You don't know because you can't put yourself back in that position, I think.
No, it's so hard.
And like the emotions that you would have had about Shayne making you win Amsterdam and like all of these things, like I think all of that would have been in your head.
That's such a good question.
Yeah.
That's such a good question. I think see, now you got me thinking about it so much because it's so tough. Because
So I mean, you and Shayne for sure had that deal. Like, if you knew where you were going to tell him.
yeah.
In the very beginning.
Yeah. That's what was
And
tough.
Shayne proved it over and over again. But I know your love for Mack. So this is why Mack and I don't know the answer to this question, and neither do you.
Yeah. No, fuck. I don't know.
You don't have to know.
God, my armpits are sweating. My cheetah robe. Straight polyester, dog.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Do you think you would have known Big Ben?
So it's so tough to say because like, you know, it's like after you do the challenge and you understand like what the answers are, it's so easy to say, oh yeah, for sure, I don't know, I'm not 100%, but probably not in the moment. You really don't know because like the hourglass, that would have told you time maybe, and then it's like the $100 bill or whatever. It's like Ben, but like in the moment too, it's like. You know how it is. Your brain, you cannot think straight at all. Your brain is like just freaking out, trying to figure out like what, so like, honestly, I'd have probably done the same as people. I would have probably struggled,
Yeah, I wish at some point I would have realized it was going to be way obvious places, even the finale, because the way Rick described the map.
Yeah,
besides Venice and Monaco, which don't make sense. But I think if I looked at the map, I would have thought Big Ben because it's the only thing I know. Out of what Rick was telling me, he's like the bank, the Queen's this. I was like, I don't know what those things are.
Yeah, no, I would have struggled. I think the same way they did.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it was meant to be easy.
No, not at all. And it was, in the finale, it's got to be tough. It can't be one that both of them get. So, no, it was. But again, it's impossible to put yourself back there and be, oh yeah, for sure, I would have gotten it. Because now that you know the clues, and you're like, yeah, that'd have been so easy. Oh wait, are you telling me there's no place like home? Yeah, that's easily Monaco. It's like that's the easiest shit ever.
No.
These random 9 letters to save the other.
That is such a stretch.
That one feels like somebody realized that afterwards and was like,
this
like they were trying to give a movie clue, and then they were like, oh no way, like this also has the letters to Monaco.
So I'll tell you what I thought it meant was, Dorothy, and it was either the Wicked Witch of the West or they were heading west or whatever. I just assumed that meant we had been traveling west, which we did. Yeah. So it ended up working out, thank God.
Yeah.
That would have been better for them to say on TV than the unscrambling. Yeah.
Because like looking at that's not there for no reason, obviously. Yeah. So I was just trying to think like what could it be, and then I just immediately thought west, and that ended up helping me, and that ended up working out. But
what were the movie references there for anyway?
So I think The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was shot there, evidently.
Yeah.
But like,
wait, I looked it up and it was filmed in Spain.
Okay, great. So there's that. Also,
maybe I looked up the wrong thing.
I think maybe.
But also, y'all weren't in Monaco.
Right.
So like,
right.
even had it been filmed there, that wouldn't tell you Monaco.
Right. I think maybe something to do with Grace Kelly.
Oh.
Maybe.
Was she in that movie?
She may have been.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Grace Kelly.
Which I would have
Princess
never.
Monaco.
No shot.
Yeah.
No shot. No shot. I'd never even heard of Sound of Music. So.
Fair.
No.
Wow, that's crazy.
No.
Never?
Never. Not an old movie guy.
I knew Sound of Music. Shayne didn't, but I had no idea what Salzburg was.
Yeah, no,
So-
I'd never heard of Salzburg.
Yeah, me
Sorry.
neither. Yeah, never. Never heard of it. Salt in the wound. Well, yeah, so Rick won. We can feel how we feel about that.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about Rick as a winner? I like Rick outside of the game a lot more than I liked him in the game. I was one of Rick's biggest haters through and through. Mack was definitely up there. Kim was probably
I was
number
the only
one.
one that wasn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Pete.
Yeah.
And Pete, obviously.
And Pete, yeah. And Janae.
Janae, yeah.
So obviously
know
the
about
Alliance
it.
didn't
Yeah.
hate Rick, yeah. But yeah. If you wish Biggy won, leave a comment. If you wish Biggy won, leave a like. Unless you have more questions. I thought we were done for some reason. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Biggy will be back under the covers one day.
At some point, we'll make our way back to Austin. We'll hop up under them sheets. Why not?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Sweet.
Fuck yeah, dude.